Today, House Republicans passed their dangerous and deficit-exploding tax proposal. This bill was crafted behind closed doors, with additional loopholes added just days before it was considered on the floor. The bill will hurt hard-working Hoosiers, seniors, and all those who need a leg up in this economy. Here are just a few examples of how the Republican tax plan will devastate Hoosier families. Lowers the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21% and the individual tax rate for the wealthiest Americans from 39.6% to 37%. Instead of providing hard-working Hoosier families with tax relief, the bill permanently cuts taxes for large corporations. 83% of the individual tax cuts will go to the wealthiest 1% of Americans. Provides major tax breaks to corporations, even if they create no additional jobs. Adds over $1.5 trillion to the national debt over the next 10 years, which Republicans plan to pay for with cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Repeals a key part of the Affordable Care Act, which helps stabilize healthcare marketplaces by requiring healthy individuals to purchase health insurance. This levels the playing field for individuals with pre-existing conditions, while keeping premiums reasonable. Up to 13 million Americans stand to lose their health care as a result, and health insurance premiums for many Americans will rise. Triggers automatic spending cuts to Medicare to pay for the bill, as well as cuts to federal student loan programs, state workforce development grants for individuals with disabilities, and agriculture programs. Eliminates the state and local tax deduction, which will impose an unfair double tax on middle-class families, driving down home values, and endangering key funding for firefighters, law enforcement, and schools. Our country is in dire need of a simpler and more modern tax code, but this bill is not it. Our tax code should support those who work hard every day and still struggle to get by, as well as small business owners who are creating jobs in our communities. That is the economic vision that I have been and will continue to fight for. 80% of Hoosiers will only see 31% of the tax breaks. Hoosiers deserve better. Constituent success story: I work for you. One of the most important parts of my job is making sure you are treated fairly by our government. If you are having trouble with a federal agency, or difficulty getting the answer you need or access to the benefits or services you've earned, please contact my office. Recently, Jasmine contacted my office after months of unsuccessfully attempting to receive a pending payment owed to her from the Social Security Administration, SSA. Once Jasmine contacted my office, we were able to work with the SSA's payment center to get her $31,000 payment released to her in less than 2 weeks. I can't always guarantee a successful outcome, but my office will always do our best to assist you in receiving a fair and timely response to your problem. So the tax bill will affect Medicare and Medicaid for the elderly as well as for those with life-threatening disabilities. This is the darkest days in American lives of the poor and middle-class. Millions of children ages infancy to 13 years of age will be without health care within months to come. Those ages 14 to adults will be without health care in 2 months following that, and the elderly will then be without Obamacare or Medicaid or Medicare insurance or coverage. Many will die within a 1 or 2 year period. Estimates of a total 14.7 million Americans will die without health care. And this is the Christmas gift Trump has for America? I'm ashamed to be called an American, ashamed to be a part of this country's system, but mostly ashamed of heartless, uncaring, greedy, self-conceited Republicans who think they know it all, but in reality have violated every rule of congressional law for their own greedy purpose. I worked for more than 35 years in a factory until I contacted my heart condition that disabled me. If they cut my health care, I won't be able to afford my medication or regular checkups. I just don't know what to do. I feel the same way with my diabetes. My medication will cost 3 times as much, and without healthcare coverage I won't be living too long. Right now I'm making arrangements for my funeral. Maybe it is for the better to die. I made arrangements to Henry. Thank God my wife died 4 years ago. If it comes, I'll be joining her.
Those good-for-nothing Republicans, all they are good for is their self-interests. Yeah, especially that Vice President Pence, he's a Hoosier reject. All anti-abortion, anti-gay rights. But he better not mess with us. What we do is our business. You're right, my love, they can never separate us. With all this talk about tax cuts on the tax bill passed, it's going to make life very, very difficult for a whole lot of people.
And to think what a fool I was to vote for. I'm totally ashamed to be called an American. But as long as we're together, baby, we'll somehow make it.
Nicholas, people are starting to worry about the future, do you?
Yeah, I do, but mostly I fear the possibility of economic breakdown caused by this administration.